What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week, Dan Gilbert, Ashley Dye.
Gents.
Alright.
I've just realised now that my voice is very deep today.
Too much alcohol.
Too much alcohol. I was at a wedding, so I'm very hungover. My voice is very deep, so the show's performance...
The show must go on, though.
The show must go on, but the charisma will be brought by these young gentlemen here. Well, this young gentleman and then this old gentleman.
Older.
Old. The wrong side of 30. It's all downhill there.
Oh, here we go.
We had this conversation yesterday.
Okay.
Basically, once you get to 30, that's it.
That's it.
That's it, basically. What's left to look forward to once you hit 30?
Let's wait until you're 30.
Well, that's the depressing thing. I've got this big thing of bucket list I need to do. It's like, well, I've got to do this all from 30 because what's the point? No?
No.
Should we start the show? Yeah.
Okay. You're old. So the game of the week is a weekly show that the three of us do, where we get together every Monday to talk about the latest news stories in the video game industry. We'll then also go through the game releases for that week before each picking our favourite game of the week. If you like that or any game related stuff, you can check out everything we do on thegamerinitiative.com, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. The links are down below. Plug. So, the big story this week, the one that everyone was talking about, the internet went crazy as soon as this one broke. The rise of the Tomb Raider, the Xbox exclusive that was announced a couple of years ago now, just over a year ago at E3, and everyone was all really excited about it. It's not an exclusive anymore. We always thought it was going to be timed, but it's now been officially announced. PC version, early 2016, but the big one, PlayStation 4 Holiday 2016. So obviously a 1-year exclusive.
Yeah.
Guys, probably not hugely that surprising, but what did you think of the fact that it's now been announced and the timing of the announcement as well?
Yeah, I don't know really what to say about the timing. I think to some extent it was inevitable that it was going to come, it was going to happen. I don't know. I mean, the timing...
I think it's really bad timing because from an Xbox perspective, if they've paid all this money to be first, surely they want to... The part of the deal should be, well, we don't want anyone knowing, even though everyone knew, we don't want people officially knowing until our version has come out. Because now you've got all those people that were maybe going, oh, I actually love Tomb Raider, I really want to play it, I might buy an Xbox. Well, that's just gone out the window now.
Yeah.
Unless,
I understand you from that point.
A year's a long time, though.
A year is a long time. I mean, I don't know, Dan, is a year too long for you to wait? Because is it something that maybe you would buy an Xbox for? Or would you now wait and stick it out?
Well, you see, you mentioned that, but it's also coming out on PC. And I own a PC, so I could get it in early 2016.
You could. What was the last PC game you played?
The
Silent
City Skylines.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, you could play it early, but that one wasn't quite so surprising. If Microsoft
Microsoft
had struck the deal, then the PC one that's not surprising. It's Microsoft is Microsoft. They're making their money either way there.
The thing is, this is out on Xbox this year, the same day as Fallout.
Yes, that's a good point.
And that's always been a concern of mine, I think, because I just don't think it's quite gonna... I don't know, I think Fallout is just gonna decimate everything else come release. I think Tomb Raider will suffer for that.
Yeah, and based on Fallout, it will probably take about a year to complete anyway. So there you go. There's your PS4 game, November to November. Then move on to Rise of Tomb Raider. Don't need anything about Uncharted rubbish or anything in between. But yeah.
Sony are cleverly sort of, ooh, yeah, this is good.
But no, I mean, I suppose it's nice to be out in the open. I kind of always, as an Xbox fan, maybe hoped that maybe it was actually an exclusive, and they were just kind of like doing like their evil lair, being like, yes, you all think that it's timed. It will never come. Kind of like Half-Life 3 will never come. Like, they never said it won't happen.
Yeah.
But people just keep sitting there waiting and waiting. But yeah, if you're a Sony fan and you're unhappy about the lack of Lara on your console, you don't need to worry anymore. And you can probably hold out But realistically, based on this announcement, at least last quarter, it didn't seem to affect Xbox because their sales are up quite nicely this year.
Yeah,
27%.
Yeah, good figures, very good figures. And we spoke about this not that long ago, saying how the gap's closing, and Microsoft seem to be they seem to have. We spoke about this after E3 and saying that Microsoft look to have a better outlook for the next 12 months, I think, than Sony do, and have been catching up. So I think it's it's well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, 27% in Q1. That it's year-over-year comparison. So if we look at Q1, this is kind of they call it their fiscal Q4, which is Q1 for calendar's sake.
Yeah.
That was kind of just after Christmas of the launch of the console. There probably wasn't that much kicking around on the console at that point. I would hope if you take away the first quarter that a console was released, every quarter for the next 3 years on these new machines should go up.
Yeah,
because as you get more and more games, once
exactly,
you take away,
the bigger the catalogue, the more there should be to actually entice someone to buy it in the first place.
To an extent, and then obviously it will eventually peak and mature
because the market then saturates.
Exactly.
To a point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Xbox. There is a big gap there. I don't think Xbox is going to catch Sony for a long time. We saw how long it took Sony to catch Microsoft last generation. The slow start, it just destroyed them, and no matter what they did, they could never. They just about caught it up by the end. It was pretty much parity, but that took them 10 years because of a 1 year bad first year.
Yeah.
So Xbox though, whilst they're doing well, poor Microsoft on the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, relative terms, it's only about like 1%, if that, of their company.
Yeah, it's less than.
But $2 billion, it's a chunk of change.
I'd take it.
I would take it, yeah. If they're just going to throw it away anyway. But basically what that means is that fuck PCs and software, the future is video games, and that's all you should worry about. That's what I get from this with my expert business knowledge that I have. Just go all in on Xbox. I don't know what with, but just everything.
An executive meeting, there's just someone just pushing all their possessions across the table, like all in on Xbox.
All in on Xbox.
You
I don't need your briefcase.
It's like, you need an Excel package for your office, do you? No, you don't want that. Just play Xbox. It's fine.
Yeah.
Change everyone's business.
Yeah.
While we're just on Xbox, we should very quickly mention Battlefront is going to be coming first to Xbox with EA Access. Not that surprising. It seems to be the given thing now. EA Access. We had it with Rory McIlroy just a week or so ago. They did it with Battlefield, and everyone got really angry when it was Battlefield.
Yeah.
People will probably get very angry with it being Battlefront again, but hey, we've talked about this. Sony had the chance.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Do you think this is going to be for every game going forward, or do you think just the big ones?
I would say, looking at it so far, it's been pretty much every EA game.
Right.
I mean, they did it for Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
They did it for FIFA. They did it for NHL. They did it for Roy McIlroy. They did it for Battlefield. Those are just the ones I can think of. And they're now doing it for Battlefront. I mean, if anything, the ones they won't include will be like their smaller, like maybe indie ones like Plant vs. Zombies, something like that. Something that they want people to actually buy and play.
Yeah.
It's limited, obviously. I mean, it's not going to work for every game. Like Mirror's Edge, for example, it might not work with Mirror's Edge because you don't want people playing a single player experience.
Yeah.
And taking it away. This is multiplayer only, so it's a never-ending game. The same with the sports games; they never end.
It is.
So you're probably right. It probably will be limited at some point in the future for how they do it.
But yeah, I think all these things have got to be assisting Microsoft sales, Xbox sales for Microsoft, and the more that they can keep throwing out their package and what their offering is, this is us, this is what we can give you as part of this. It's just going to continue to increase their sales.
Agreed. At the end of the day, we all win as gamers.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And if like us, you've got an Xbox One and a PS4, then
it's the only right decision, really, isn't it? So
you agree?
Yeah. I wasn't even going to.
I was asking Dad if he agreed.
Oh, well. I'm sure he does.
I'm not allowed an opinion.
You are allowed an opinion.
No, I'm not, because my opinion's wrong if it doesn't match yours.
Exactly.
So
You're still allowed it. It's just not allowed to be right. Let's move on anyway. We can go to talking of sales. Naughty Dog, or more specifically, Bruce Straley was giving an interview this week. Not really much of a news item here. I just thought I'd talk about it because it was quite interesting.
It was interesting, yeah.
He, when talking about The Last of Us, said, there was a quote here, "We thought it was going to tank. We thought we were going to ruin the name and image that's been so heartily built for years with blood, sweat and tears." And when he says the image, he means of Naughty Dog, obviously. So they were obviously, because they were maybe they'd had all this success with Drake and Uncharted, going to this maybe darker world, different direction. They actually didn't think it was going to sell, which is amazing, because surely if anything's taught them, if a game's good enough, nearly always a game will sell if it's good enough.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think that even people that close to maybe you can be too close to a project, and you know, when it's yours, you always think it's great because you've got blinkers on. I don't know. What do you guys think of it?
I can understand where he's coming from, in the sense of it's differed so much from what was their image of games, and the most recently, obviously, you're talking Uncharted and so on, because it's a much slower paced game.
Yeah.
If you play it right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can on the easy levels basically still run and gun it, but the way they wanted it to be played,
it was more of a
stealth. Survival.
Yeah, it's a survival stealth, so you're not shooting everything left, right and centre.
Yeah.
And so on. You have to take your time to explore, which if you weren't collecting stuff in Uncharted, you never really did. You pretty much went A to B.
Yeah.
And so on. The storyline is very dark in comparison.
Yeah.
And so on. It's a much slower paced deliverance overall, and I think that's why they could think people wouldn't want it.
Yeah, I mean, but they must have thought people wanted it, otherwise why were they making it? I mean, and maybe that's not the right thing to say, because at the end of the day, they were artists. They want to make what they want to make, and that's the same with probably all video development. They want to make what they want to make. If people buy it, then that's a bonus to them. But at the end of the day, they're artists. They do what they feel is good for them. That's why you have developers and you have publishers. The publishers worry about the financial sides of the success, whereas the publishers just work about making this good game.
But I think it came out at the right time, where there has been
game as well.
Well, I'm meaning more sort of just the year, as in the sense of there has been a shift more to stronger storyline games and so on, and people have gone that way. Whereas I think previously there was a time where if it would have been too story based, it would have been too much, and people would probably have put it aside.
Do you not think that maybe they actually almost made that shift with The Last of Us though? Do you not think that helped? Last of Us has been out a couple of years now, and the shift to these stories have. I mean, I've always liked a good story, but a lot of games have seen The Last of Us and the success it's had and gone, okay, we can follow that path. It's inspired. The games we're maybe seeing now to some extent were inspired because they would have been starting development around the time Last of Us came out.
I think all the biggest games have some element of trying to capture your emotions. I think all the biggest games you see now, and it's funny because we've got a big game in Fallout coming up this year, and we sort of speculated that I think that's going to have much more of an emotional sort of attachment to the character than we've seen in previous Fallout games, and I think all the biggest games have that element of drawing you into the character. Even the likes of GTA, you get to know the character, their background, what they've been through, their family, and they try and involve you in all aspects of the people themselves as characters, and that makes the game much more addictive. You feel much more engaged in the game, and all the biggest games have that now.
It's true. So we're talking about characters and characters that people liked. Corvo from Dishonored was a character that people seemed to enjoy a couple of years ago when that came out. It was very well received. We talked about it probably very quickly at 100 miles an hour when we did our E3 show that a definitive edition was announced at Bethesda's conference. This game's coming out August 28th. Now, the good news on this is, not only is this game very, very good, but if you owned it last time and you want to go and play it again, you can now get it for half the price. You know, if you've got the digital Xbox 360 game or the digital PS3 game, it will automatically recognise that as part of your account, and you get it for £15 rather than £30. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Does that only apply to the digital version? So it can't recognise if you've had the physical one?
There's talks about trading. They'll be doing trade-ins with partners.
Okay.
There's no details on how that will work yet, but I suppose they've got to be careful because someone could have rented the game and installed it and then traded it off and what. But the reason this is good is because I suppose if you played it last time around, maybe you're more reluctant to play it again. Yeah. So that's one way of enticing people in. But the reason it's really good for us is because this game's actually been available for free on Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus over the last year. So therefore, as we say every single month, everyone should have this game. Like, even if they haven't played it, they've just downloaded it anyway. Yeah. So now they can pick up the shiny version for half the price, which I might do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm in two minds about this. Looks like a good game. Generally, looking at all the gameplay footage and everything, I'm really keen to play it. But you know, when you've got as many games as we deal with nowadays, you've got to be so choosy on what it is. You know, you've got to be quite ruthless to, will I pick that up or won't I?
With that's exactly where I'm coming from, because it's 3 days or maybe 2 days after Until Dawn, which is the horror PS4 game, but actually looks really cool, like that teen horror movie game. And then it's 4 days before Metal Gear Solid. And it's like, well, I'm not going to complete it in 4 days. Realistically, it's going to become 1 day when Guernsey Post don't deliver it to me on the Friday, so I don't get it till the Monday. Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Unless I take that Monday off work, it's pretty much, it's going to probably pass me by. But on the plus side, I wonder if I'll be able to get it even cheaper if it ever gets discounted in the future.
Quite possibly.
Probably.
Quite possibly.
Anyway, that's there for people who are interested in the game and have more free time than we do. We will close out the news with a quick Nintendo roundup. Always nice when we can get the little special third child involved. It sometimes gets forgotten about.
That bastard child.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
We make fun of Nintendo, but it's all in good humour. We all love. If you go and check out our party chat from last week, you'll see how much we did love Nintendo growing up. Some of our favourite memories.
It was quite nostalgic.
Yes. It just reality is they're not quite where they should be today. And the first item is perfect case in point: Project Cars, which was came out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Very pretty. Kind of hard car simulator. Dan, me and you have played it a little bit, and it is pretty full on. They've cancelled the Wii U version because the console simply can't get it to run properly on that console. The console can't handle it. Yeah, they basically said that they can't guarantee their quality, or they did it in
the performance of the game as it's meant to be performing.
So that's that. I don't know. Is a real big blow, I think, because it just you've got this third party that's actually wanting to support you for once. Not a Nintendo game, but they can't make it for their console, and it's just like.
Do we not think that maybe the new console will be
an X? Well, yeah, it's possible that they've even had conversations behind closed doors.
Because that's always been my thought with this new console. Surely it's got to come up and compete with the likes of the Xbox One and the PS4. And I've said that all along. I really believe that if Nintendo are going to compete in this market, they have to have a console to do so.
It's got to be more powerful, I think. It's coming out 2 years later, so it has to be more powerful. And it has to be cheaper. Right? Even if they take hits on the cons. Because I think Sony's already making a profit on their hardware. Did we have that conversation at some point? Maybe I'm pretty sure I'm not making that up. But they've got, even if they take a hit on their console, they've got to go, right, this is more powerful than those, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And there's all these games.
Yeah.
So
if they can get this new console to have the engine to be able to, give good performance on games like Project Cars and all the big AAA blockbuster titles that we see, as well as even having some aspect of compatibility for existing Wii games that we know and love, the Mario Karts and the Amiibos and everything else.
Yeah.
Then I think they're onto a winner, and we could be seeing a third player in the ring, so to speak.
It is a catch-22 though, isn't it? That studios aren't going to want to make a game for a console that doesn't have the install basis.
Yeah.
It's like, why would we put resources into making this game where there's only 2 million of those consoles out there versus like the 12, 13 million Xbox Ones and the 20 million PS4s? It's not worth the time and money.
That's the thing. It's like, so if the NX is going to be, like Ash is saying, come up and actually try and get in the ring with the others, it needs to do it, and it needs to do it hard, basically, because if it's just going to be like, hi guys, yeah, I'm here as well, then it's basically just going to be no one's going to jump on board and basically make that install base happen.
You're right.
Yeah.
But if it like comes in pretty much,
it's
just like, I'm here, like I come with this and this,
it has to
I'm
offer
better
something
than this now.
And the thing you got to remember is there is already just an enormous. I mean, I want to be careful how I sort of word this, but for want of a better word, the sort of serious gamers will play games on Xbox One and on Xbox and PlayStation, because that's what they've done for the last
that's what's available.
So many years.
That's what
suddenly, thinking, on Nintendo, we can play, the new, we can play Fallout on Nintendo NX new console. It's just as good as any other console. Well, is a serious gamer going to want to take that risk?
Better. It needs to be better.
Yeah.
When you say Nintendo, you think, oh, cool, Mario Kart, Smash, Zelda, new Mario game, maybe Star Fox.
That's about it.
Pretty much it.
Watch this space.
Yeah. Next up we've got the, according to my notes, the new Amigos.
Oh, yeah.
In town.
Yeah.
I'm not going to insert any racist Mexican joke there, but new Amiibos that are coming out to coincide with the Mario Maker pre-orders. Not going to spend too much time on them other than put them up on the screen so everyone can see the classic 8-bit version coming out September 11th and the kind of new vibrant 8-bit colour version October 23rd. They look quite cool, but they're still Amiibos.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't quite understand them other than they look cool, and I suppose as a collector they're really cool.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just another money spinner for me, from my opinion. Yeah.
And then the most important,
we've not got time for this article.
we do have time for this article. There's always time for Pokemon. A YouTuber out there has released a video showing what Pokemon would look like if it was in the Unreal 4 engine. We'll put an overlay on the screen right now so you can see it. And
Looks good.
It looks very, very good. It looks pretty, looks gorgeous, looks amazing. And this is the Pokemon game I want. I want it in 3D, open world, the original Pokemon, none of this new shit that they have now where I don't understand what's going on. The original 150.
I didn't understand the original one.
Tell you what, if that's what the NX launches with.
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
No, I'm actually.
Dan's already pre-ordered.
Yeah, I'm being serious right now. If they did launch that console with that kind of game, because Pokemon has a massive fan base.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
that would really help them.
It would.
That's what I would want. I would go and order that console right now if we had a 3D Pokemon game.
You'd be like smashing your wallet against your laptop, like, take my money.
Well, no, I that wouldn't help because I don't have any money. I'd have to steal money from someone else. No, yeah, I would in a heartbeat. Long as it's not MMO. I don't want to play with people. I could handle it. I wouldn't be happy, but I could handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what you need to do, Nintendo. We've helped you. You're welcome. Just slip the check under the door.
Yes.
I'm sure you know where we live. So, or where I live, that's what's important. We'll move on to the game releases. Not a huge week compared to last week where we had like a dozen games or something.
It was a busy week last week.
This seems to be. First up we've got Journey for the PlayStation 4, which you might recognise the name of. It was a lot of people's game of the year in 2012. It's basically, very quickly, it's an indie game where you basically take on a robed figure who is just introduced. You're dropped into this vast desert land, and you kind of see like these temples on the horizon, and the game is just about the journey to those temples. Don't want to say too much because it's more like it's an experience.
Yes.
I think is what a lot of people say, and it's something you have to experience.
I think the experience is always going to be unique to each individual player as well.
Yeah,
I mean, start point, end point are the same, but everything in between is going to be what you do.
the journey is unique.
It seems a very tranquil sort of game, I must admit. It looks very...
It's not very long either.
Calming.
It's like maybe 2 hours.
2 hours. So yeah, pick it up. I think if you pick it up in the next day or two from when you're watching this, you'll get an extra 10% off because you're obviously a PlayStation Plus subscriber. If you're not, get out. So, actually, please don't get out. We don't have enough of you to throw people away. We've also got Cube Director's Cut for the PS4 and Xbox One. This is a puzzle game where you have to escape the cube by the looks of it. Not quite sure really what's going on from the trailer. All I can envisage is that this is what happens when Tron crosses with Tetris and you're blocked. You're trapped in the world of Tetris. That's how I look at this game.
It's a bit like that, yeah. It is a bit like being stuck inside a very large Rubik's Cube, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks clever.
It does look clever, and we see a lot of puzzle games, and they're all slightly different and quirky in their own right. But this looks good.
Yeah,
it does.
And if you don't like cubes, maybe you're more a fan of badass elephants, because it can't just be a normal elephant; it's got to be a badass elephant. Yeah. Tembo, the badass elephant, is on PS4 and Xbox One. Just an elephant being badass. I feel like I've said badass quite a lot.
You have.
It's a platformer. Dan, you saw a little bit of elements of Sonic. I saw a little bit of elements of Velocity when you're the human runner rather than the spaceship. Looks quite a fast-paced game in places. Don't really know, can't really comment on how good it is because I haven't played it, but it looks
alright.
Looks alright.
Yeah. It doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't look terrible. It's pretty much alright.
I like that it's the idea of being like an elephant. It's something different.
It is something different, as are other games in this week's list.
Yeah, we'll next move on to
Ashton's favourite part of the list.
The final four here. I think it's when the Japanese bring games to the West. It seems like we maybe get them in blocks because we haven't had any for a while now. We've got four, and some are weirder than others. We'll start with Deception 4, the Nightmare Princess. This is pretty weird. This is up there with weird. The way I can best explain it is, it looks like if you remember Crash Mode in Burnout. It looks like that, but with humans. Not as in like you're throwing humans into one another and seeing how much they blow up.
But it is very much just destruction.
You're like kind of destroying them. There's a lot of like crotch pain jokes.
Yeah, there's a lot of carnage in. Yeah,
and like impaling people with hooks and stuff. It's very, I don't know,
sadistic.
That's a word. Obviously, everything you say is a word, but
you know how they like to blame video game violence on things going wrong in Western world.
Yeah.
Why is Japan not more fucked up?
Japan is blame the Japs.
No, but you know, if this is like a key point of looking at saying, well, if video games are to blame for people being weird and mental.
This game is
Japanese.
This is like very weird and mental stuff that you would thought would cause at least one person to go a bit nuts.
Yeah,
it is. It is a little bit weird. But maybe like all of the sushi that they have that kind of calms the rage or something. I don't know. Like, because I eat quite a bit of sushi, and I feel like I'm
the wasabi basically.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a fairly calm and rational person, so maybe it does help. Don't give me that fucking look. So yeah, check that one out if you want. I'm actually very intrigued. I always want to pick it up and do it for a Let's Play because I feel it would actually make quite a fun Let's Play. So
for the comedy value, absolutely.
Definitely.
But it doesn't strike me as a serious game.
Yeah, so I might check that one out. Bit more calm. Maybe if you've had enough of ripping people's crotches out with giant anchors, then maybe you could just chill out with a bit of vegetable ninja platforming. Yes, I Ninja for the PS4. Ninjas platforming across the world, but like broccolis, onions, whatever, just chilling out. Of course.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to be an onion chased by a broccoli, then this is the game for you.
There you go. Japanese encouraging people to eat their vegetables. Healthy living, healthy gaming. Actually looks quite cool. I like the art style. The art style's quite decent in it, and again, it's different. So no criticisms with it there.
No, I'm not. No, I think it's got a good balance of how it looks, how it plays, and the comedy value as well.
And then Skullgirls Second Encore. Thank you. It's a fighting game. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, so this is it's a fighting game. We just said there. It's anime art style,
Street Fighter kind of
2.5D kind of fighting.
Yeah,
it looks alright. We say at length before we're not privy or kind of savvy with the fighting scene, so I don't know how this compares. I didn't even realise there was anything beyond like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, to be honest. But we get more and more of these titles each week.
Yeah,
and it's like,
looking at it, there's nothing that makes it any different to the others.
No, there's nothing that's
But again, this is coming from exactly the point of view you said of someone who doesn't pay attention to them.
Yeah, well, it's like someone saying to you, "Oh, this Madden just looks exactly the same as every other Madden," because to a casual fan, yeah, okay, it does, but to
someone who plays, exactly.
But this looks more like the Street Fighter 4 X Plus because you've had Skullgirls and you've had Skullgirls Encore and then Skullgirls Second Encore, so it's the same game but just with
more characters
and
or something
stuff
like that.
Yeah.
And we're closing with the best game of the year, calling it now, game of the year. Hatoful Boyfriend. It is basically a game where you get to fuck pigeons. Well, you don't get to, that's weird. It's a pigeon dating simulator. Ash?
Thoughts?
Impressions? You alright, mate? What's wrong with it? You do realise we're on camera, so just staring into the abyss does not make great viewing.
I'm not going to waste my time.
I actually think it sounds quite good. And you get, like there's dialogue there, Dan, where you get to see like the relationship building and decisions and stuff, and it's maybe sometimes one of the pigeons is acting a bit bitchy, says like, no, I'm not going to side with that bitch. I'm going to
take him down a peg or two.
Looks decent. A lot of depth there. A lot of character, relationship building. One you think you might check out, maybe?
Not my first choice.
No,
I'll admit that.
That's right. I think it looks pretty good. Anyway, so there we go. That is it.
I think we've lost Ash.
It's fine.
Yeah. Are you done on that one?
He's pretty much only here in body anyway most of the time. He's never here in mind. So yeah, that's it.
I'm back in the room. I was never really in the room. But...
Like we said, if you've been listening, in body only. So picks of the week, gentlemen. Dan, I probably know it, but I'll just ask anyway.
I'm going with Journey. It's like I've seen it. I think I've seen it played all the way through, but I haven't actually played it myself. So now it's come to PS4. Pick it up, play it on there.
Yeah, that was like £9 away.
Yeah,
it's pretty decent price of like a cinema ticket. So yeah, good choice.
Well, I was sort of stuck between Journey and Cube.
Not the Hatoful Boyfriend, no.
But given the fact that Journey is a relatively short game, and Cube, I suspect is going to be a bit longer.
And we know how important length is to you, Ash.
No, it's all about what you do with it.
Exactly, and Journey game of the year. Game of the year.
Yeah. No, I am going with Journey anyway because it's a slightly shorter game in length, and time is of the essence when it comes to playing games. So I will probably hunt that one down. But Cube does look good.
Cube does look good. I am intrigued by that puzzle game. At first I thought it looked a bit Portal-ish. I don't really think that's a verb, but I'm making it one.
Portal-ish.
Portal-ish. Yeah, I'm going with Journey as well. Very, very good game. Going to play it on PS4. Deception 4 was close. It did appeal to me in a different kind of way that I should care not to share on the internet. But yeah, Journey is my pick for this week. In fact, I'm pretty certain that will be the Let's Play that you guys will be able to check out tomorrow. So similar to last week where I'll be running around not knowing to do what to do in Ethan Carter, I'll be doing the exact same thing in Journey. 15 minutes of me. So,
looking like a knob.
I
don't know what I'm doing.
I do it anyway. Might as well let that best of the world see.
It was definitely worth watching.
But yeah, so there we go. Another week where we all agree.
2 in a row is a first.
I know. It is. Maybe next week we'll agree as well.
Maybe.
If we keep agreeing, then the world's going to end soon. Or at least we'll have to end the show.
Well,
because it doesn't work if we keep agreeing all the time.
Well, yeah.
I know what your pick was, really, Ash. Is alright. I know you're scared to say it on camera, but it's fine. So that's it, I think. Yeah, good.
That's it.
So, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in for us this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments down below about what you thought of the Pigeon Simulator, dating simulator. You know, how deep are those stories? You know, the romances. Do they convert Ash? He's on the cusp. You can tell he's on the cusp. And
he just needs more storyline.
He does.
Yeah.
Just need to convince him. So I'm sure you can do it in the comments below. But for now, Ash, Dan,
Cheers, guys.
thank you as always. And everyone out there, we'll see you all next time.